Hello. So, this is correlation coefficients. So we learned about scatter plots in the last video and lines of best fit. So, what we have now are called correlation coefficients. Look at these four graphs. These are both positive trends, right? Like we could draw a line through here. That's like a pretty good line of best fit. And we could also draw a line. I'm just going to dot it so you could still see like some of the, points. But imagine there's just a line going straight through that. Both of these have basically the same slope, right? This shows basically the exact same trend between these two data plots. But one of these is a lot closer to the actual trend, to the actual line of best fit than the other. These ones are all scattered around it, and we kind of just, eyeballed an average a bit. And this one, it is right on the money, right? It is going right through it. So, a way that people, use to represent how far close all these plots are, all these points are called correlation coefficients. Jesus Christ. Basically, they range from -1 to 1, and then there's a 0 in between, right? So it could be any numbers between -1 and 1. If it's positive, if the correlation coefficient is positive, it also means that the slope is positive. If it's negative, from less than 0, it means the slope is negative, right? So these would be somewhere from, these two would be somewhere from 0 to 1, and these two would be somewhere from -1 to 0, because these are negative and these are positive. 0 represents that there is no linear trend between these. You can't really draw a linear line of best fit. And 1 represents that it is right on the line of best fit. All of the points are on the line of best fit. So if we had a correlation coefficient of 0.8, then that would mean that a lot of the data points are very, very close to the line of best fit or on it, right? If it was 0.5, it would mean, okay, some of them are close, maybe some of them are farther. 0.1 would be like, there is almost no trend between these two. They are very scattered apart, but you can still see a trend, right? It would look more like this than like that. So this would be like a 1, and that would be closer to like, a 0.1. So as you get closer to 1, more close to the line of best fit, more like accurate to the line of best fit. Closer to 0, it means there's less of a correlation between the line of best fit and all the points. Same thing with this. As you get closer to -1, actually, as you get closer to -1, not 0, because 0 is like there's no correlation. As you get closer to -1, it means there's more correlation. So this would be a -1 kind of deal, a -1 correlation coefficient, more so than this one, because there's points, scattered around. So this would be closer to 0. It would be like -0.2 or something. Okay. It's not too bad. When the graph is positive, like this, it means that there's a positive relationship between these two variables, right? Between the x and y. It means as x increases, y also increases. And if there's a negative relationship, it means as x increases, y is decreasing. Y is decreasing, right? So that means there's a negative relationship. So this is a positive relationship, this is a negative relationship. If the correlation coefficient is closer to 1 or -1, meaning it looks like this or this, it's basically right on that line, that means there's a very strong relationship between x and y. Because it's just like completely linear, right? But if it's more scattered around like this, it means that there's a weaker correlation between x and y. Because all the points are scattered around. You could draw, a trend between it. but they're not right on that trend line. Okay, this, I'm going to draw a graph that was in your textbook, and I don't know why, it took me a second, but I found it hilarious. So this is height in inches, and this is vocabulary test scores by, oops, I can't even spell scores, pretend that says scores, in percentage. So this is how tall you are, and this is how good you did on the vocab test. Now, I didn't realize, or on just any vocabulary test, I didn't realize that they meant ages 6 through 13. This is specifically for people from ages 6 through 13. I thought they meant that in one grade, like all the little first graders who took this vocab test, the people who were taller had much better scores, right? And there was a positive trend between how tall the little first graders were and how short they were and how well they did on the vocab test. And I immediately got really offended because I'm 5'2", and I was like, hold on. That is not true, okay? I can get a good score on the vocab test too. I don't need these like 6'2" freaks getting better scores than me on the vocab test, right? Turns out it was ages 6 through 13, which makes sense, right? Because as you get older, it means you tend to get taller, right? And as you get older, you tend to know more vocabulary than you did at, age 6 or whatever. I would say that I knew more vocabulary at age 13 than age 6. So this makes sense. You can draw a positive correlation through that. I just like took a glance at it and I was like, wait, what are they saying? Illustrative mathematics? Jesus Christ. Anyways, so that was that. There is actually a formula for the correlation coefficient. You can look it up. It might look super scary, but if you do choose to look it up and kind of research a bit, just know that E scary looking symbol that you probably haven't seen before, it means the sum of, and you can research that too and see what that means. Also, what you can do with these kind of graphs is see if they're causal graphs. Just causal graphs. It means does one cause the other, right? So like for this one, it's not necessarily your height that's causing you to be better at your vocab test, but your age, which generally corresponds with height, which is why that is the way it is. So you can see if one variable causes the other one to go up, right? So, this one would be a positive graph, and this x would be causing this y to also go up. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. But I actually really like this unit because it tells you so much about statistics and how you can lie with them and how people lie with them all the time. So I hope you guys research a bit more into statistics and how people commonly lie with them, because it's actually so important to know. Have a good day.